Tomodachi Life is a game where technically nothing happens, but also everything happens at the same time. You're not really playing a story, you're just kind of influencing as one unfolds. Sometimes it's hilarious, sometimes it's boring, and sometimes it's both. So the real question is, are you gonna love it or are you gonna get bored of it? Because on one hand, people have been waiting years for this game. It's super nostalgic and it's honestly hilarious. But on the other hand, it's also kind of repetitive. So if you don't know, Tomodachi Life is basically a life simulation game where you create Miis, drop them on an island, and just watch what happens. You do have input. You can encourage Miis to become friends, to have conversations, and even to date. But all in all, they basically operate as sentient beings with their own thoughts and feelings. It's really chaotic, but in a really fun way. There's multiple aspects to this game, like the fact that you are also caring for these Miis, feeding them and giving them clothes and gifts and money, and making sure that they are staying happy and fulfilled. There's also mini games and collections and things that refresh on a daily or weekly basis. Don't forget too that there's the island editor that allows you to design the layout of the island with terraforming and decorations. There's a lot to do in terms of what to create and how to help out your Miis, but the key thing is you're not really controlling a story. You're more like guiding it and watching it play out like a movie. This game is really good for a few specific types of people. The number one type of person I would say this is suited for is the artist. People who love to draw can create extremely detailed, personalized Miis with the face paint tool, as well as their own buildings, food, and items. If you love to draw, this is something you'll have a blast playing, seeing your creations come to life in the game. The second type of person who I think would love this game are people who are creative in a storyline based way. Basically, if you like thinking about what would it be like if these two celebrities met, or what kind of personality type would this person have, you would probably have a lot of fun messing around with bringing the weirdest people together, like having Sabrina Carpenter meet Barack Obama. Lastly, if you're the kind of person who likes games that are light and funny and not too complicated, this is the perfect kind of game to play. It's not made to be complex or super drawn out. It's meant for the user to mess around with and usually to laugh at the results. The humor of this game is super random and weird, and that's the main part of the appeal. Nintendo definitely did a good job at bringing some new, more creative aspects into this game, but the whole basis of this franchise originally was just to be something silly and lighthearted, and I still think they stayed perfectly on brand with this. But with all the positives, we do have to talk about the negatives, basically who this game is not for. First and foremost, this game is not gameplay heavy. Once you get through just the basics, setting up your island, creating your Miis, unlocking buildings, it kind of settles into a comfortable loop. You check in, solve problems, watch interactions, repeat. There are collections and there still is a general progress. For example, if you want something to aim for, you can try and get all the food items or all the treasures, or you can try and get your island to level 100. All in all, the way to accomplish those things is not very hard, and those things don't introduce anything new after a certain amount of hours. Each Mii has their own personal level system, and each time they level up, you can give them something new, like a new phrase, a gift, a personality quirk, etc. But once you kind of have them fleshed out for what you want them to be, it doesn't really serve anything to continue leveling them up. And as for your island level, once you've unlocked all the decorations, all the gifts, and all the room styles, there's not really a reason to level up at all. The only things I would say are true motivating factors are to discover things about your Miis, like their favorite and least favorite foods, and to get access to all the in-game items, which can be done by simply playing around 30 minutes a day, but for like an entire year straight, which is fine by me because I love check-in type games where you are slightly limited and discouraged from binging the whole thing in just a few hours. However, if you would like to binge play, this might not hit after the first week or so of playing once you've already gotten those basics set up. And of course, if you're someone who wants a strong storyline or constant new mechanics or like actual progression systems, this game might feel really shallow. And something Something else to consider that is really important: this game is not cheap. So whether it's worth it really depends on how much you value what it offers, because you're not paying for deep gameplay. You're paying for the silliness and the creativity that you have to provide yourself. So overall, Tomodachi Life is a really good game for what it is. It just depends on what you want out of a game and what you're willing to make it. It all comes down to you and your style. If you want creativity, randomness, and something that'll make you laugh, definitely go ahead and play it. But if you want depth, constant gameplay, and progression systems, it would maybe be a skip, in my opinion. So that is all I have to say about this game. Let me know if you agree, if you don't agree, if you've bought the game yourself, and if you're planning on buying the game. I'm interested to know your reasons behind this, because I feel like so far people have had pretty polarizing opinions. Of course, obviously, I love everything about this, but I always have. So I would love to know why you feel the same or why you feel differently. But regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like and a comment, and if you're feeling generous, you can even subscribe. I do hope to see you guys all in the next one, but if not, bye bye.